Have you ever wondered what a $47 billion illusion really looks like? Not the kind made in Hollywood, but the kind born in boardrooms where changing the world became the perfect disguise for selling air. This isn't a story about offices or startups or even money. It's about belief. It's about a world where charisma replaces math, where storytelling replaces truth, and where investors don't analyze, they worship. We've all been told that success means thinking different. But what if the greatest deception of our time wasn't digital, but psychological? We found documents, valuations, and testimonies that were never meant to be seen. Numbers revealing how one man turned real estate into a religion and billions of dollars into smoke. And if you think this story is just about WeWork, it's not. It's about every dreamer who ever confused vision with value. Stay with me until the very end, because what you're about to hear might change the way you see every visionary CEO forever. And if what we say wakes you up even just a little, share this video. Subscribe so you won't miss what comes next. Because sometimes, just one view, one share, is enough to change the way we see ourselves. It all began with a question no one seemed to ask. How could a company that simply rented out office space, desks, chairs, Wi-Fi, and free beer be worth $47 billion? To the world, WeWork wasn't real estate, it was the future of work. It sold purpose, not property, meaning not margin. But beneath the glow of glass offices and catchy slogans, there was something else. A myth powered by belief, not by balance sheets. And at the center of that belief stood a man who made the impossible sound inevitable. A myth powered by belief, not by balance sheets. And at the center of that belief stood a man who made the impossible sound inevitable. He would tell investors, "We're not just renting desks, we are changing the world." He told his employees, "We're building a movement," and they believed him. To work for WeWork was to feel like you were part of a revolution. To invest in it was to feel like you were funding humanity's next great evolution. When Japan's SoftBank CEO Masayoshi Son met Neumann, he didn't see risk, he saw destiny. After a meeting that lasted just 12 minutes, Son poured billions into the dream, famously calling Neumann a crazy man worth betting on. For a while, the illusion held. WeWork opened hundreds of offices worldwide. The brand was everywhere. Young, cool, and seemingly unstoppable. The valuation just kept soaring. But every cult built on charisma eventually faces its first crack. Behind all the slogans lay a brutal truth. WeWork wasn't a tech firm. It was a real estate business with a tech logo slapped on it. Its business model was simple and incredibly dangerous. It would lease buildings for the long term and then sublease them out for the short term. This meant fixed liabilities but variable revenue. It's like renting a Ferrari for a whole year, then hoping you can rent it out daily just to make the payments. In 2018, WeWork earned $1.8 billion and lost $1.9 billion doing it. Its gross margin was collapsing, but its valuation skyrocketed. Why? Because in an age of cheap money, investors mistook rapid growth for real value and charisma for competence. With SoftBank's billions, WeWork expanded like a wildfire. It wasn't just offices anymore. They were getting into skyscrapers, co-living apartments, even schools and wave pools. Neumann trademarked the word "we" and then made WeWork pay him $5.9 million to use it. He talked about living forever. He flew around on private jets and bought mansions, all while preaching a philosophy of minimalism and community. And as long as the paper valuation climbed, nobody seemed to care. Because when everyone is getting rich on paper, the truth becomes optional. But paper burns fast when it's exposed to the light. And that light finally came in 2019. When WeWork filed for its IPO, the illusion shattered. The S-1 documents, which are required for a public offering, exposed the reality of the empire: billions in losses, shady self-dealing transactions, and a CEO who controlled the company's voting shares like a monarch. The media turned, the myth unraveled. Within weeks, the $47 billion valuation plummeted to under $10 billion. Adam Neumann was forced out, but he left with a staggering $1.7 billion exit package, while thousands of his employees lost their jobs and their now worthless stock options. The dream of community ended as a cautionary tale in modern capitalism. The collapse of WeWork wasn't just about offices, it was about psychology. It showed us how easily we can be hypnotized by vision and how quickly belief can curdle into delusion. For investors, the lesson is clear. Always question charisma. For employees, beware of purpose when it's sold as payment. Charisma can raise billions, but only profitability can sustain a company. You can manipulate psychology, but you can't manipulate math. Today, WeWork is a shadow of its former self, a monument to how hype can devour truth. And maybe that is the real legacy, a powerful reminder that the brightest dreams often hide the darkest illusions. If this story woke something up in you, please share it. Subscribe and stay with us for the next chapter as we uncover the unseen truths behind the world's biggest startups. Because sometimes just one view, one share, can change the way humanity sees itself. Thanks for watching.